Imagine waking up in a small stone house surrounded by dust in the summer and mud in the winter. No running water, no paved streets, and sharing everything with a large family. This was the reality in Galilee, where Jesus lived. But why were these villages so important? And how did they shape the stories that echo to this day? If you want to understand the real world behind the parables, miracles, and everyday life of Jesus' time, stay with me until the end. What you will discover here may change the way you see this whole story. Like now and subscribe to the channel, because this journey through time is just beginning. In northern Israel, on the shores of the Sea of Galilee, a silent transformation was shaping the foundations of something much bigger. From the 2nd century BC, Jewish families began to migrate to the region, giving rise to villages such as Nazareth, Cana, Nain, Capernaum, and Chorazin. They didn't know it, but they were building the settings where one of humanity's most impactful stories would unfold. These villages were small. Some were home to just a few hundred people, while others numbered thousands. But they all had something in common. They lived off the land and the water. Agriculture, fishing, and commerce were the heart of the local economy. It's interesting to think that Jesus' parables were born from these simple settings, isn't it? Each one was a direct reflection of this daily life, with its hardships, joys, and rituals. The buildings were modest, houses of stacked stone, with thatched and plaster roofs, no paved streets, no public squares, or grand architecture. Just shared courtyards and dirt trails that turned to mud in the winter and dust in the summer. And yet there was community, purpose, and faith. Life inside these homes was marked by simplicity and survival. With extremely high taxes and few resources, families lived with the bare minimum. Reed mats on the floor, shared pots, meals made with what the land and sea had to offer. The menu? Fish, bread dipped in stews, vegetables, dried fruits, olive oil, and local wine. Almost everything was shared. Almost nothing was disposable. And luxury? That was limited to the big cities like Jerusalem. Here, beauty was in the essentials. And if you think hygiene was a priority, think again. Without plumbing or bathrooms, the standards were far from what we have today. But even so, life went on, and faith was the center of everything. Customs followed ancient traditions. People spoke Aramaic, observed the Lord's Day with small lamps, kept kosher diets and purity rituals. Everything revolved around spirituality, which was passed down from generation to generation, often orally. These villages, so simple and small to modern eyes, held something grand. They were the stage for one of the most intense periods in human history. They were homes without luxury, but full of meaning. Streets without names, but with paths walked by figures who would change the course of humanity. And that is precisely what makes these places so fascinating. Not because of their grandeur, but because of their humanity. Because of the way they reveal the real world where eternal ideas were born. When we look at these villages through the eyes of history, we better understand the context in which so many profound messages were delivered. 1st century Galilee was not just a setting, it was a character. If this dive into Galilee made you see history in a new way, comment below what surprised you the most. And of course, share this video with someone who loves history and spirituality, because understanding the past is the first step to transforming the present. Did you like this style of video? So leave a like, activate the bell, and subscribe to the channel. There's much more to come.